Are you a Gossip Girl fan who loves rooting for Blair, or do you prey on her downfall? If you can say that you truly consider Blair one of the best characters on the show as someone you hope always wins, then stick around for 10 lovely times that she was super easy to root for. First, the time Blair stripped at Chuck's Burlesque club. Blair was the definition of confidence when she oozed sexuality and high self-esteem on stage at Victrola. That was the moment Chuck realized he had genuine feelings for Blair, by the way. Up until that moment, Chuck thought Blair was a stuffy, prissy, bratty girl who didn't know how to let loose. When she started stripping down and dancing on stage at his burlesque club, another side of her came to the surface. Blair couldn't loosen up or relax during the photo shoot for her mother's fashion line, but she definitely knew how to loosen up and relax on stage at that burlesque club. Second, when Blair protected Serena on multiple occasions. Blair stepped in to protect Serena so many times we can't even count at this point. They definitely had a frenemy-style relationship at different points in time, but for the most part, Blair 100% had Serena's back. When Serena first admitted the truth about Pete Fairman's overdose, Blair was there to support her. Another example is the time Blair went out of her way to take down Juliet Sharp after Juliet started honing in on Serena. Loyalty was in Blair's blood. Third, the time Blair got Chuck to admit he loved her. Getting someone like Chuck to admit they're in love wasn't an easy feat to accomplish, but that's exactly what Blair did. She got the wildest bad boy on the Upper East Side to showcase vulnerability. We all recall when she whispered, 3 words, 8 letters, say it and I'm yours. At first, Chuck just couldn't say it. But eventually, he realized he could not live without Blair. He knew he had to tell her he loved her in order to be with her forever, so it all worked out in Blair's favor. Fourth, when Blair sought help to overcome her eating disorder. Blair heavily struggled with an eating disorder in early seasons of Gossip Girl, and it was super detrimental to her mental health. But Blair didn't try to handle it all by herself the entire time. In one scene, Blair leaned into her vulnerable side when she called Serena to meet her after a binging session. Serena arrived and comforted her on the bathroom floor, reminding Blair that she wasn't alone. Many people fighting eating disorders are fighting their fight solo. They feel too ashamed and embarrassed to tell anyone how they're really feeling or what they're going through. Blair was honest about her struggles with Serena, which spoke volumes about her readiness to heal. Fifth, when Blair had 3 eligible bachelors obsessed with her at the same time. Blair proved that she was truly a baddie when there were 3 handsome young gents who all wanted her. We're talking about Prince Louis, Dan Humphrey, and Chuck Bass. With Prince Louis, she would have married into a royal family and truly turned into a princess. She would have had the textbook version of a fairy tale ending. With Dan, she would have ended up with someone who truly loved her for who she was as a person. Dan appreciated her depth and knowledge as an intellectual. He loved her ambition, and he adored that she never sugarcoated anything in an attempt to reach her goals. Ultimately, Blair ended up marrying Chuck. But that doesn't change the fact that all 3 of these dudes wanted her really badly at the same time. Sixth, when Blair hosted the dopest parties on the Upper East Side. Blair proved that she knew how to exude bad biatch energy anytime and every time it was time to plan a party. Just think back to season 1 when she hosted the Kiss on the Lips party, for example. That was just one litty party Blair pulled together with her power, influence, wealth, and social status. If Blair told everyone that there was going to be a party at a certain address, just about everyone was going to show up. No doubt. That's how much power Blair had in social settings when she was Queen Bee. Seventh, when Blair crowned Jenny as Queen Bee at Constance. It was super easy to root for Blair when she chose Jenny as her successor at Constance. Blair was searching high and low for a strong-willed girl who could handle being in charge the way Blair was during her 4 years of high school. Jenny proved that she was the best possible option. That was a moment when fans could easily root for Blair since Blair proved that she could overcome the prior judgments and misconceptions about Jenny's upbringing in Brooklyn. Eighth, when Blair bounced back from her Ivy League rejection and enrolled at NYU. Blair was very much distraught upon learning that she wouldn't be attending Yale. After all, she dreamed of attending Yale from her childhood. All she wanted was to become a Yale student when it was time for college, but those dreams were dashed and divided before her eyes. Still, Blair didn't get down forever. She re-evaluated her life plans and reworked her life path. She ended up enrolling at NYU instead so that she could still pursue higher education, even though it wouldn't be at an Ivy League. Ninth, when Blair won the Prom Queen title alongside Nate. It was lovely seeing Blair win Prom Queen during her senior year of high school. Chuck went out of his way to manipulate the votes so Blair would win. At that time, Chuck had already developed romantic feelings for her. Her dream was to enjoy prom night with Nate as her date, and even though Chuck already loved her, he made sure her dream evening worked out exactly as she hoped for in her childhood prom scrapbook. Everything about Blair's prom was fabulous, including the dress she chose, the mature breakup conversation she had with Nate, and the beautiful prom queen crown she wore on her head. 10th, when Blair took over at Waldorf Designs. Blair was the perfect person for Eleanor to choose to take over at Waldorf Designs. She took it all in stride when it was time for her to fill her mother's shoes. One thing Blair always handled with grace on Gossip Girl was her fashion sense. Blair was always dressing to the nines, and she always looked incredible. No matter where Blair was going or what she was doing, her outfits were on point. That's why it made so much sense when it was her turn to take over at Waldorf Designs. Die-hard Blair fans have nothing but good things to say about her as a character on social media. One fan wrote, "This show is my all-time favorite show ever. I get so invested in each character. I sometimes find myself acting like them if I've watched too much in one day. LOL. But Blair Waldorf, no matter how many times I'll watch the show, I fall in love with her every time. She carries the whole show. Not only to mention she's stunning, but her bossy characteristics make the show so entertaining." Another fan responded, "Ah yes, I love her too. Mostly because Leighton Meester plays the character so well. It's just something about her. It's hard to describe what exactly. In some ways, she's a normal mean girl, especially in the first season, but then again, she really isn't. They've managed to make a mean girl lovable." A third fan chimed in with, "Oh my gosh, Blair makes me so happy. Blair is a goddess, and her Breakfast at Tiffany's episodes are definitely favorites of mine. Also, I totally agree that she is the most loyal and interesting character on the show. I love how she will shamelessly pursue what she is passionate about, good or bad, but she still will show up for the people she loves. I'm a Blair nerd for life." Another Blair lover joined the chat to say, "Blair Waldorf means everything to me. I'm so in love with her growth as a woman. I love how hardworking she is, always striving to get what she wants, even if she's misguided in a few of her decisions. She is so strong, intelligent, and kind. Not only that, but she's ruthless, passionate, and has the quickest wit in the room. I strive to be more like Blair every single day. If it doesn't get me what I want, it'll at least make things interesting." Another fan lovingly wrote, "I love Blair very much. She is very consistent in being mean and caring at the same time. She has the best outfits, and she is just the sassiest character on the show. She has hilarious lines that are simply so Blair. Without her, the show wouldn't have a character that would make the show distinctive. My best friend named her first child after her. She's a fan as well. I was obsessed with Blair growing up, and I went through a headband phase for quite some time." Which of these times was easiest for you to root for Blair on Gossip Girl? Did we miss one? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.